Zach, with 12,000 miles now on the odometer of my Hyundai Ioniq 5, I'm making more and more visits to Electrify America charging stations. And I love it. I mean, I love plugging in and using that clean green electricity that's usually flowing from the chargers, but not always. And
usually.
Two trends that I'm noticing as I'm going to more and more Electrify America chargers. One, the chargers are not as reliable as they were 3 or 4 months ago. That's a problem, but that's another topic for another day. Number two, more and more EV drivers with less capable electric vehicle charging capabilities are plugging into 350 kilowatt fast chargers, and that is a problem for me.
So, okay, let's equate this to my internal combustion engine brain. Is that okay? Can we just do a little analogy here? So would that be, imagine I pull up and I'm fancy schmancy. I have a car that takes, I don't know, like high octane fuel.
Yeah, okay.
And there's only one pump that dishes out the high octane fuel, but it could also dish out the lower octane fuel too. And there's like, I don't know, a Prius that's filling up there, and I can't get my fancy schmancy BMW in or something like that.
I've got to interrupt you here, Zach, because there is an example that is far more relatable to those of us in rural America, and that is,
let's hear it,
parking at the gas pump. That's the only one that offers diesel.
There, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You just aren't supposed to do that, okay? That's rude. Well, we're running into that problem in the electric vehicle charging space more and more frequently. I cannot even count how many times I've been blocked from the 350 kilowatt charger by like a Bolt or a Leaf or Kia Niro, even Mustang Mach-E. So, Zach, I wanted to talk about this today. How can you find out what the maximum charging capabilities are of your electric vehicle? And what should you do about it, right? What can you do with that information to make sure that you don't become a menace to EV society?
I'm on board with this. We also need to do a follow-up video, not today, but at some point. Charging etiquette, man. I want to know. In case I'm going to buy an EV, I need to know some basic charging etiquette. But yes, please dive in. How can you find that information so you can be an informed charger?
Yes. Well, first of all, 66% of you EV buyers out there continue to buy Tesla electric vehicles, and that's awesome. Good news for you. You don't have to worry about this because at a Tesla supercharger, you can just pull up to any of those chargers and plug in and have a nice day, okay? But for the rest of us, like myself, who use third-party charging networks such as Electrify America, EVgo, Blink, ChargePoint, more often than not, you're going to pull up to a station with different charge outputs, so different power outputs. Electrify America, that's the example I'm going to run with for the rest of this. You've got typically 150 kilowatts charging stalls and 350 kilowatt charging stalls. Now I'm going to go over the list of 2022 model year EVs. They don't include any Teslas because we already talked about that.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you what the peak charging power is that they can accept. Okay, think about this. If your EV can only accept 75 kilowatts of peak output, why would you plug into the 350 kilowatt output?
Let's just
charging
for a
stall?
second here. Just pause for a second. You've experienced this obviously so
I'm
many
frustrated.
times recently, Justin, that we're making a video about it.
Yes.
Fantastic! I am so proud of you using this channel for like a public service announcement. This is great. Dig in.
Yeah, let me dig in.
Buying a car? Let the team at YAA help. Use the code FALL20 and save 20% on a YAA membership, or use FALL100 and save $100 on an extended warranty.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the list. And the numbers I'm referencing, these are kilowatts of peak charging that the vehicle can accept. From best to worst, Ioniq 5. Well, look at me. Ioniq 5 at 235. Kia EV6, also at 235. Rivian R1T, 220. Mustang Mach-E, 150. Volkswagen ID4 with the new update, it's now capable of 135 kilowatts. Nissan Leaf, depending on the trim, it's either 50 or 100 kilowatts.
Mm-hmm.
Kia Niro Electric, 75. Hyundai Kona Electric, 75. And last but not least, well, actually it is least, the Chevy Bolt at 55 kilowatts, okay? Now, yeah, it does cost like half the price of my Ioniq 5. But anyways, yeah, those are the peak charging powers that it can accept at a DC fast charger, like at what you find at Electrify America. Now, that means, okay, listen closely, you guys. If you drive a Leaf, a Bolt, a Nero, a Kona, even an ID4 or Mustang Mach-E, please do not plug into the 350 kilowatt chargers unless it's the only one available for you. Then of course you should, okay? If you see that there's a 150 kilowatt stall available, please go over there so that the faster charging EVs can utilize the full capabilities that were engineered into their vehicles.
Do you think most people recognize what they're doing when you've seen this happen, or is it
No.
just, yeah?
I am not angry at anyone. I just am frustrated. Honestly, I'm frustrated at the lack of coordinated effort by the automakers who are selling these cars. And you could say the dealerships too, but especially the automakers. You don't see any like public information campaign to really teach people how to own an EV. I don't blame the driver at all. We need to see automakers step up and educate their salespeople at the dealerships and hopefully convey that information to the buyer. I mean, it's just a part of ownership.
I wonder if that'll end up being a bit of a differentiator between some of the larger players in the charging infrastructure space, in the sense that when I show up to an Electrify America, just point me in the right direction. Like, don't let me make a mistake. But first, I imagine you need your chargers to function. So maybe it's like prioritization here. Like, let's get the table stakes things working, and then we can maybe say, like, here's the leaf lane, and here's those that are higher, faster charging. Then you go here. Like, there's definitely a way to simplify this, I think, for the end user in the future.
Yeah, from my experiences at Electrify America, one simple thing would make a huge difference, and that is to make the numbers bigger on the actual chargers. Make 350 kW kilowatts. Make that bigger on the actual charging stall so that people can see it when they're pulling up to the parking spot. Like, sometimes you got to get out and actually stare at the damn thing to see what's going on.
I'm telling you, man, we're going to do a charging etiquette video soon. But okay, thank you for running through the data. Now, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Share this video with a friend that owns an EV. There's no excuse to be using the 350 watt charger when in reality you should be using some kilowatt, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you're on a 350 watt charger,
That'd be slow.
The Bolt though might be satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a talk for another day, Zach.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.